Oh, what the hell?
That was just
Suck
rude.
it, bitch! Suck it!
Just rude.
The master!
How are we, like, almost losing?
Guess what? Red's in the lead, suckers! Michael and
How
Sam
are-
for life! Oh!
How the hell are we losing
Unbelievable.
to Sam and a
Sam-
retarded AI?
Only Sam would figure out how to cheat in an alpha.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Useless Gamers Podcast. My name is Dyce. I am your, apparently general, I got upgraded from captain, your general whatever of sexiness in video games. With me, as always, I have Sam706. What's up?
Hey, not too much. Just here to continue to same as last time. Still do the podcast.
I'm glad you're here to do the podcast, because if you weren't here, that would be kind of obstructing. And also, we got a new guy with us today. He's been with the Useless Gamers for some time, watching us from the shadows. Tumult.
Hello from the shadows.
How you doing, Tumult?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me. I'm a little nervous, but hopefully, can offer something. Please like me. Please like me, please.
I've got this image of like you're like a cast out stray, and like we're at this bar, and like it's all cold and rainy outside, and we have a fire, and you like kind of like look through the window, and we're like, oh, we'll let him in.
That is so sad.
Can I play with you guys?
Can I be cool too? Am I cool yet? Oh my god. No, but seriously, I'm really nervous. I gotta bring it back. I gotta reel this in.
Just imagine everyone on the podcast naked. It'll be fun.
I've seen your picture, Sam.
Usually when Sam does the podcast, he is naked, so that shouldn't be too hard for you to visualize.
And he's waist deep in
the
tub with his cats.
Yeah. Dyce does speak the truth. I believe that no true gamer plays with pants on, so.
Oh, I'll believe that.
I can believe that. I just don't want to know it when I'm playing games with you. God damn it! Right now we are playing Disco Dodgeball. It is a free-to-play browser-based game that Sam just found. Sam, what'd you think about this game?
It was an awesome little way to spend time with your friends. Honestly, it was not difficult for us to get together and play on, and it was just a fun time. And I think the video shows that.
Oh yeah. So, go check that out at www.82apps.com/disco dodgeball. That's a free. You can jump on it right now. You don't need jack squat to play it. So go check that out. But anyway, it's the holiday season. It's time to give back. And a lot of our videos I started noticing are us playing some, indie games. What was it? We played the No More Room in Hell. Sam here did a couple of indie Let's Plays. So, it's a time of giving. We need to give back and be thankful for all these wonderful indie devs that have given us some great views and some great games. I gave an issue to our Useless Gamers, and I said, I want you guys to just go out onto the internet. Indiegogo, Steam Greenlight, Kickstarter. I told them to find 3 interesting games that they might put money into, or they would want to encourage people to play if the games are already released and already making money. And so each 3 of us have 3 games that we like. Games that you have... I don't want to sound like an indie hipster douchebag, but you've probably never heard of them. So let's start with our new guy, Tumult.
Oh god, no pressure.
No pressure at all. You're going absolutely first, so you set the tone, and if you suck, we'll never talk to you again.
Done.
So
Good.
What's the first game you got?
I guess to work off of that, the thing Sam was talking about, good music, Interference. This dark Tron 2 inspired stealth platformer inspires reveries from the glory days of Prince of Persia and Solid Snake, and newer titles like Mirror's Edge. The music is killer too, with an all-encompassing, oppressive atmosphere. This indie title really draws you in. Yeah, so it's a cool game. Very stylized. The music is phenomenal. They even mentioned it during the opening screen, how we got a guy to do this music, and we want this guy to have recognition for how good his stuff is. It's a cool game. It's a platformer. Again, very much kind of like a Prince of Persia. You're jumping around. You're free climbing. You're free walking. You're doing all that stuff. It's really dark. You're this guy running in this everything is night. like you have this neon blue everywhere, and it's I don't know. It drew me in. I think just the opening, and it's I don't know. These guys they know what they're doing in terms of like, well, what do I got? What can I do? Like what access to my faculties do I have to make a really good game with whatever limited programming knowledge I have? And they really, they aced it. So.
And I would totally agree. I want to say too, Tumult, you started off strong. I thought of all the games that we kind of had, because we all looked at them a little bit so we could talk about them. Of all the games that we listed, this is either number 1 or number 2 for me.
Oh,
Wow.
This game looks great, and I think it exemplifies all of the, maybe not all, but most of the things that indie can do that the big titles can't, and that
definitely.
indie can create a mood piece. They can say, I want people to experience sadness. And then they can create a game where you get to experience sadness in an interactive world. Or like this, kind of like dark noir, hardcore sci-fi fantasy kind of thing. And you can create that experience through very minimal gameplay, and with the music and how the story progresses and the graphics, even the minimal graphics, you can do that. And they don't have to, cater to the no scope 360 fanboys. And it's amazing. And looking at this game, it really reminded me of another indie title from a long time ago called IJI, that it did something very similar, and it was the feeling of isolation that game had. It was you were a girl who woke up in like some kind of post-apocalyptic planet had been nuked and aliens, and you had to go through and kill all the aliens. Gameplay was almost exactly the same,
Oh, wow.
But the thing is that this gameplay, which is tried and true, I mean, it's been there, and they mentioned it in their trailer, all the way going back to Flashback. This is an amazing style of gameplay and really fun. And then, so the people don't have to invest that much in reinventing gameplay. It's solid gameplay. It's not going anywhere. And then they can spend all of their time on the message that they're trying to create, the mood, the art style, the experience.
Well,
so I mean, look, we'll get back to the game.
All right.
So it's an awesome game. I think Sam did a great job in describing its everything emotionally that it evokes, everything that that guttural, like, oh my god, this is really cool, this is really neat, and I'm a seasoned gamer, so like if this can really get my goat, there's something there, there's something special. The game itself, I don't know, I mean, it plays like a standard platformer. I mean, there's a lot to it. I mean, it's thoughtful. I think that's the word I'll use.
I think wait. Let me break in here, because he had something going with this platformer. One thing, because here's my thing. This immediately I started playing this, and it's a stealth 2D platformer.
Yeah.
But the thing that really set this apart from other 2D platformers or stealth things or something like Mark of the Ninja is that this puzzle aspect, which seems really interesting. It's the fact that you can actually move people, places, and platforms to different places, and whenever you're playing a stealth game, your territory, the geography of the map is one of the biggest things that stops you.
Yeah.
But being able to move the entire scene around, or having control of the people in the game and moving them to different locations, moving them out of the way, seemed what really stood out to me in this game.
Yeah. That's definitely a crazy mechanic that, that's never been done before. And this 2D, well, maybe it has, but I haven't seen it.
I haven't. That's the one thing. I was actually looking at this, and the whole time I was like, "Oh, it's just Mark of Ninja." I was like, "Okay, it's not a bad game. It's a fun game." I got maybe 4 hours into Mark of Ninja, and I was enjoying it, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm getting bored." But I like this mechanic. I'm curious to see where this mechanic goes. So I guess I'll ask this: would you guys? Because right now this game is on Indiegogo. It's 3 days and about $30,000 from its mark. So guys, definitely go look this up. Interference, you can find it on Indiegogo. Would you guys put some money to seeing this game get finished?
Yeah, I already gave him money, actually.
Oh, you did? How much did you support them for?
Like $5. I mean, I'm not.
All right, that's not bad. That's $5 is better than nothing. Sam, would you jump in on this?
If I wasn't incredibly broke right now, I would. This game is
excuses.
I know, it's horrible, but like, but I think this is a game that is worth it, and I think that's the message. That if anyone cares about my opinion, this game is one of those games that if you like platforming, this is a game to throw a couple bucks to, and I'd be willing to spend $5 and buy this game when it comes out for sure. This game looks beautiful, so.
All right, so the first one was Interference. All right, Tumult, what's your number 2?
Let's go with the Stanley Parable. Now this one's already out. And I mainly chose this one because of the artsy fartsy aspect of it. I mean, it's not a game so much as a meta game. I'll read my little thing on it. The Stanley Parable, a Hitchhiker's Guide-esque first-person experience that is unsettling and a little pretentious. That said, its artistic place will forever be cemented in gaming, quote, high art. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say. It's very unsettling at times, and it's very meta. Like we're not talking about like crazy mechanics about being able to manipulate your environment and stuff. This game is very like, oh my god, who am I? What is real? What is happening? Am I Stanley? Am I Stanley in this game? Is Stanley me? Am I the narrator? Is the narrator God? I don't know. It has you asking a lot of questions, and yeah, that's the only way I can really describe it as meta. It's like this weird mind fuck. I'll just say it. Sorry.
That's all right. Look, you guys are just making editing this so much more fun for me.
I'm so sorry, Dyce.
It's all good.
I don't know how else to describe it. It was really weird. I played the demo, and I was just like, what is happening? It had me press these weird buttons, and it made judgments about my person and who I was, and I'm like, you don't even know me. Wait, why is this getting to me? I don't even know what this game... Like, this game doesn't even know me, and yet, like, it's describing my every action and calling me an idiot every other way and telling me how I'm doing something wrong. And then how I'm doing things right. I don't know.
Out of all the games that were on the indie list, this is the only one I didn't really have to research that much because I'd been following the Stanley Parable since it was a free mod for Half-Life 2.
Okay.
Everything you said is absolutely right. This game is just weird beyond belief. The whole game in itself is not so much a game as it is an experience and just in being meta.
Yeah.
It sees everything you do. It judges you for it. It has 100,000 different options, but they could be as easy as doing what the narrator told you to do, going through a door when it told you to do it, pressing a button, which could seem random, and it is random, but the button that you press says something, and the game hinges very heavily on its narration, and it's a meta game, is what it comes down to. It is literally a meta game.
Unsettling overall.
Absolutely. Sam, what'd you think about it?
Sorry. I didn't play it. I watched some YouTubers play story paths in it. And it's definitely a cool experience. I think it's funny. I think the creators did a great job and deserve a lot of credit, but it's not my style. I'm not really interested in it.
Yeah, I feel like many people's style it would be, man. It's a weird.
I think, and I hate to be like a downer on it because I don't think it deserves that. It was funny. I enjoyed watching someone play it. I'm not going to spend money on it. Is kind of how I went. But I do know. I mean, a lot of big names really liked this game too. So it's not. I don't know.
That's fair enough. You're allowed your option on it.
And let me add, I think what I would say about this is at a cheaper price point, I would be very into this because this is the new Choose Your Own Adventure, in my opinion. And I think that, that was, I don't know how old, if that's still in kids' libraries. I don't even know if kids read books anymore. But like, when I was a kid,
they don't.
All on those iPads.
When I was a kid, Choose Your Own Adventures were the ones that were always checked out of the library. And this is a Choose Your Own Adventure, and that's exciting and fun and really cool. And I think that there should be a whole little cottage industry of this style of game. And that would be really fun to see them and to see the good ones get recognition. And I think Stanley Parable is one of those good ones that got recognition and deserved it.
Okay, so right now Stanley Parable is for sale at the Steam store, $14.99 for the full launch title, and the demo is free. So you can go on Steam right now and check that out.
And be told of how bad you are at the game and everything you do.
Oh, and it takes every opportunity to do so. It's wonderful for doing so.
Womp womp.
No, that's good, man. All right, so Stanley Parable, what's your last one? Your last indie game.
Below Krill?
I have no idea how to.
Kryll.
That's why I made you say all the titles. 'Cause
I'm
I
pretty
couldn't
sure
figure
it's
it out.
Krill.
Krill. Okay. This one it's a platformer. I mean, it's like I kind of likened it to kind of a Terraria knockoff.
Oh yeah.
But it's less about like I don't know. I haven't played Terraria, but from what I've seen of it, it's most like you're looting, trying to get stuff. This one is like you're going through user created platformers and things like that. So kind of like a 2D. I don't want to say this like that game with the sock puppet things. You know what I'm talking about? PS3 exclusive.
Little Big Planet.
Yeah, kind of like Little Big Planet, except
Yeah,
you're
that
a
game was
ninja.
awesome.
No, it was good. Okay, yeah, not for me.
I like they were like burlap sacks. They weren't sock puppets.
I don't know. I mean, okay.
Same difference.
They had little eyes. They kind of freaked me out. They smiled. Ugh.
When they
Maybe that
frowned,
was
it
why I
was
didn't
really
like it.
creepy.
Yeah.
When they frowned, it was really creepy.
You can control everyone. Anyway, that's what this game is. It's kind of like that, but I don't know. I found myself having fun. It's like you can go through user-created content. There's a leveling system, very similar to Terraria, and I don't know, not as like in depth as I think Interference and Stanley Parable are. Nowhere near, but I mean, just enough time that you want to kill and just try your hand at a platformer, solving a puzzle. It is fun.
Yeah, a fun romp, I think would be a fair way to say this. I would just
Agreed.
having played a lot of Terraria, the thing, I mean, there's a lot of games you could compare this to. In the platformer sense, it is like Terraria, but then Terraria has the whole, like, it's like Minecraft welded to a platformer. So
this feels more like they focused in on the platforming aspect entirely.
It's an RPG platformer, I think would be a good way to say it.
Perfect example. Yeah, I'd say that. I saw it and I thought, okay, the skill tree is interesting. User generated content. That's always it's fun, but I don't know. I'm just not the type of gamer that actually goes through and designs his own level, especially when the mechanics there's so many. And I don't know. I'd actually prefer a game that was made by developers, that was craftfully designed by experts who made the game, rather than let's say like I remember I was just watching the video, and they had like a Mario, and like I felt like the same, like the character on screen was like, what the hell? And I was thinking in my head is like, yeah, there's a giant Mario in the game. This feels like Minecraft. I'm immediately sucked out of what this game is. Wasn't so impressed by it. I don't think I'd put some money into it.
Yeah,
Personal
I
opinion.
don't think I will either. Yeah,
Sam?
it didn't.
Well, I thought this was of the three. I'm going to be a judger here.
No.
I thought this was your weakest of the three that you put up. I mean, Stanley Parable is clearly a good game, if you call it a game. And then,
I actually agree with that.
Yeah. Like I said, Interface was one of my top two of the whole list that we had, and we had more than we're going to talk about too. This seemed, it looked like it could be fun. I wouldn't want to spend that much money on this. This would be like a couple dollars on a Steam sale. I might pick it up, but I'd probably rather spend that couple of dollars on a game that I wanted for $5 or $10.
Yeah, like for this game, you'd rather play Terraria.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I'd rather play Interface.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I'd
Well,
rather
it's
play
still not a bad three. Not a bad three games.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3,
for the
not
new
bad.
guy. Come on.
No, that was good. Let's get a hand for that one. It wasn't bad.
I need positive praise.
If I didn't have push to talk, I would have also clapped.
We need to make sure your hands aren't in your pants, so you keep it on that button. So.
You don't know what I'm doing with my hands when it's not on the push to talk.
I don't want to know, and I don't. That's why there's no sound whenever you don't touch that button. So that's perfect. All right, so we're moving on. Tumult had a couple pretty good games. Sam, do you want to lead us into the next three?
All right, I will start with what I think is the least interesting of my three. Galactic Princess. It is a game basically about traveling through space and running your spaceship. It's pretty much a different take on FTL. And
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah, and what I'm excited for about it is I thought FTL was awesome. I got really annoyed at the pressure that FTL put by having the rebel fleet chase you, and you had to keep moving forward. It wasn't just an exploration game. And so I think this has the possibility of taking all of the really cool things about the space combat, the spaceship management, the exploration, the what items are you going to find, what quests are you going to get, and gets rid of that time constraint. And I know that there's mods out there that probably do the same thing for FTL, but there's only so much time I have in a week between a job and a life and playing games that I do like, that I don't always have time to dig through mods to get to that more pure feeling. And this is I hope this has it. And I like some of the stuff. I like some of the graphic decisions that they made and the way the game looks like it's going to play. I haven't seen any actual gameplay from it, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, that's kind of my take on it.
Well, there actually is a little bit of gameplay. The only problem is you really have to dig for it. I went on YouTube and I actually found I believe the account of the guy who owns the game. I believe it's Mikhail Mancini. I'm not sure if he got a demo or if this is the actual dev. And it looks. I'll say this: I played Faster Than Life on mobile, and I always felt like it was very limiting because it always felt like it was spaceship versus spaceship, and I was always in my spaceship, and space didn't really affect me. It was all taken care of in the light speed jumps and whatnot. What really bothered me was that it didn't feel like I was actually in space. It felt like I had my ship, they had their ship, and it was just make everything work so that you can attack their ship. This one, a little bit more complex. I'll try to send you guys some of the videos, but they have one where you're in an asteroid field, and asteroids are actually physically interacting with your ship. The placement of your lasers and where your missile turrets are affects what is being hit. So it felt a little bit more real time. It felt like I was actually in space. The placement of your engines actually determines where you move. Your lasers will affect what gets hit. And it felt a little bit more realistic, and it felt a little bit more real than Faster Than Light. What did you think about it, Tumult? Did you get a good look at it?
No, I mean, I didn't find any gameplay either. From what I got, it reminded me of Sword and Sorcery. I don't know if you guys heard of that Super Brothers game. It's like an iPad game. I mean, I like the feel. Stylistically, I did like it. I thought it was really cool, like throwback to that 8-bit thing. Mechanically, I don't know what it's about, but like just from the website, how it kind of evokes very much like Star Wars and stuff. I don't know.
They were going for a strong Star Wars feel right. If you go to that website.
Yeah, or it's like, dude, there's freaking Princess Leia with her, her blaster in the air straddling something. And then like that weird Shogun Darth Vader in the background. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it's just from what I read and from what I saw on the YouTube video. It didn't see any gameplay either. But, I mean, it looked cool. I'd play it. I mean, I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, the game looks good.
Whoa, where is this Princess Leia straddling something?
We
need to get to the important discussion here.
Well, there was like a Darth Vader-y looking.
It evoked that. I mean, honestly, from that poster, that's what I remember.
There's a samurai with a Darth Vader-ish helmet
like
on
Darth
there.
Vader. And then the guy's holding up his gun like
Luke Skywalker. I don't see a straddly thing. I think you just invoked that because you wanted something.
You know what? I'm seeing what I want to see. So.
I will say, for
smart.
a game called Galactic Princess, the amount of
they're there.
female
like
in this
8-bit.
game,
you got to fill it in with your imagination.
You kind of have to squint and just stay away at a distance and hope it appears.
Yeah, so I think that I think this looks like a really cool game. I'm excited for it. I could definitely see some people being turned off by the graphics, though.
Yeah, pixel graphics are always kind of a thing with different games, and it looked like it had a lot of things going on for it. It had different blasters you can equip your crew with, and different physics, like actual physics, and different bad guys. It's just, if you look at the game, you really have to squint and like zoom in to see it. But
yeah, you have to use your imagination.
And here's a little description on the website. The fate of the ship is in your hands. Manage your crew's abilities from repelling intruders on your ship to boosting the ship's systems. As a smuggler, you deal in all sorts of merchandise, from perfectly normal space bananas to pricey and dangerous contraband, such as space drugs and even space slaves. Beware, though, even in space, the police are watching.
The space police?
Yes, the space police. They didn't actually say space slaves, but I just love that they were like space bananas and space drugs, so I thought that should continue.
But why not the space police? We need more space.
Yeah,
We need
space police
space.
sounds totally appropriate.
It does. It does. How well, like, what are they? The police of Earth? The police of the moon? We need space police.
Hold on, I gotta say on the website there's a clip. There's like a ship where everyone's fighting in a GIF, and in one of them there's like a little cat that peeks out of some boxes while people are like shooting blasters and like freaks out and then goes back and hides.
I see it right now.
Oh, you're probably transporting contraband.
Space cats.
Space cats. Oh, and there's a cat waving his tail on another one down to the bottom left from the one with the cat.
These people love cats.
Okay,
Yeah,
this is divulged into Nyan Cat. Let's move on.
The internet is cats, dude.
Sam, what's your next game? So you start off with Galactic Princess.
Hold on. There is also a dog that waggles its
First
ears.
off, it's a space dog. Second off, number 2.
Okay. Number 2, and I think you'll like this because it is also, another space game. In fact, I think all 3 of my games were space games.
I think all of them are.
Yeah, my next one is Starbound. This one is already on Steam for early access. I've been seeing a lot of videos come about it. It is essentially Terraria in space. I almost don't know what else to say because I know what Terraria is, and it's such a clear picture in my mind. It's made by some of the staff that were on Terraria, and it looks cool. It looks like an extension of Terraria, which I think might be a bit of a turnoff for some people because I'll be honest, I've already played 80 hours of Terraria. I don't know that I need to play that much more, but if they add...
My God.
Yeah, if they
80
add...
hours.
80 hours.
There's a lot
That's
of stuff.
a long time.
There's a lot of stuff. I had to mine for gold, okay? I had to get the gold. Then I had to use the gold to get the I don't know, ebon stone or some shit. And then I had to defeat the crazy eye mouth monster. There's a lot. There's a lot to do.
Now you have to get the space gold.
Yeah, now I need to get space gold and probably defeat the mouth eye monster, So
In space.
In space. But it looks like it's going to be a lot more in-depth than Terraria, which I think will be a welcome plus. Because Terraria, as fun as it was, there was, after a while, after about 80 hours, you're like, I don't need to fight another jelly slime.
Only 80 hours, though.
Yeah. So,
That's amazing.
But
The sad part is I'm pretty sure people have clocked way more time than 80 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm curious. Now I actually want to look and see how much I have. But
Oh my God.
it
All
looks
right.
like a really fun
Level,
game.
man.
All right, Tumult, what did you think? Did you check it out, man?
Yeah, I saw bits of it. I think exactly as he said, it was just like a Terraria
Whoa.
in space.
I'm sorry, 81 hours.
Oh my God. It wasn't bad enough. Keep going, Tumult.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll be honest. I kind of like these little 8-bit things. Like, you commented that like you thought the graphics weren't that great in Galactic Princess. I don't know. I kind of like these throwbacks, these weird 32-bit, 8-bit, kind of RPG-esque. Like, it reminds me of, Chrono Trigger and those older games, those older Final Fantasies that I kind of started. It evokes nostalgia in me, so automatically when I see like a weird bitty game, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I'll take a look at it. So yeah, art direction I enjoyed, and
I would totally agree with that for 16-bit. 8-bit, I do not go for very much. 16-bit,
Oh my
I can be
God.
very okay with.
yeah.
Well,
Like 2-bit. You remember that?
Oh yeah, the
Good
2-bit,
stuff.
the 2-bit games.
1-bit.
black and white. My
Well,
God.
would ET have been a 4-bit?
Oh god.
God.
Oh my God, I've only watched that game, so.
No, let's before we
Liar.
get to ET, let's move away from that. All right, so Starbound, it really is hard to say more about this. It really is Terraria in space, and it seems like it's got a lot more going on, and it has a little bit more functionality, and it's not bound by, I don't want to say Earth rules, because Terraria surely wasn't, but it looks like it's a good game. It's extremely playable. It's out in alpha right now. And as the developers say, it has a vast amount of content. A couple of my friends have been playing it, and it's on early release Steam for $15. So go look up Starbound: Terraria in Space. Good game. All right, that's not a bad one. So are you ready to peak, Sam, with your number one right now?
I am ready to peak with my number one. I'm going to put it on a tie as to which I want to play with interface. This one is called, and give me a second. No Man's Sky.
Oh God!
I don't know why I felt that needed to be done, but
I don't know why
I like that.
But yeah, this game just looks super cool to me. Another thing that I realized is all 3 of my games are procedural. None of them are set levels, it seems like. They're all roguelikes or roguelite lights or whatever, where things are created. And No Man's Sky is a first-person shooter where everything is exploration. It's an exploration game where every planet you can go from walking around on the ground to swimming in a river to getting out and getting in your spaceship and flying up through the atmosphere and going into space to another star. I mean, the guy who's making this said, theoretically, he would like to make it so that when you look up into space and you see these other stars, like you're standing on the planet, you look up and you see the stars, you could get in your ship and fly to each of them.
Oh, wow.
That sounds effing amazing. There's combat in it, which, it needs. I don't like straight exploration games. I don't find them very fun. I like to have combat. So there's going to be combat, exploration. I mean, if he can throw in a little bit of, like, the trading and, economy sim, I just think it would be super cool. It would be really, really cool and really fun, and the graphics for it look pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Yeah, the landscapes are varied, and if he can pull it off, I don't know, that's a really big challenge for an indie game that's not, what is that one? Do you know what I'm talking about, Dyce or Tumult? There's one that's got like 20, there's one on Kickstarter that's got like $26 million pledged to it already.
God.
What?
26.
I did not see that.
You guys talk about this game because I'm done talking about it, and then I'll find it and we'll come bring it back in.
I'll say this: as I was looking up this game, the viewers are looking at it right now because we have our first video podcast. But the first 20 minutes of this, it was just procedurally generated ground, procedurally generated animals, procedurally generated space. I was like, okay, you're blowing your load really early here. I was like, you guys sound pretentious, and then you see it, and it's amazing. Like, I think there really is only one video, and it is amazing how good this looks to be completely and totally procedurally generated. I can't believe this is a game that exists. I still don't want to. It's like, this shouldn't be possible. No, my mind rejects it.
I'm watching the video right now. I just saw it, like, he just fired lasers into an asteroid, and now, like, there's this giant snake reminiscent of Dune. Now he's on a different planet.
And not only that, when he fired the lasers into the asteroid, the asteroid made a hole he could fly into.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. My head just exploded.
That's good. It's beautiful.
It looks absolutely amazing. I don't know. I really can't wait to see what's going on with this. And the weird thing is, it's made by this company called Hello Games. It's an independent developer, and it's an only 4-person team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I have a lot of crow to eat.
People.
The game that I was talking about was called Star Citizen, and they have made 5,500,000 right now. They're going on 6 million.
Jeez.
Star Citizen, I've seen that. That looks great. But
yeah. I don't think that's enough money, guys. I think they need more money.
They probably need more money.
Way more money.
They need a lot more. They need all the money. Let's just make this a AAA title and just stop everything else that's developing right now.
I think they actually are considering this a kickstarted AAA because it looks like a AAA game.
Oh yeah, this is something that's really going to. You're gonna look at this and you're gonna be like, that's not a AAA. That's what?
Yeah.
No. What? No. But absolutely amazing looking game. It's still in development. I tried to find how far along it was. I couldn't find anything, not even the system it was going to be released on.
I know that there's an alpha out. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen game footage of it. I'm almost positive.
You've seen game footage of this game?
It's a very of Star Citizen that we're talking about.
Oh,
right?
No, I'm talking about No Man's Sky.
Oh, yeah,
the game
no,
that was
I'm
actually on
sorry.
your list.
I'm still looking at the Star Citizen stuff. I probably I should have just chosen Star Citizen. I haven't seen anything from No Man's Sky. Like their website is just like it's a freaking placeholder. It's just like this really cool graphic that doesn't do anything, and you're like, I want to play you. Let me play.
Very stylistic. They're grabbing us with that one little floating monolith.
Even that one page is good.
Yeah, right? Where it's like, man, this looks pretty freaking sweet. What is that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Okay, so Sam's number one. It's No Man's
Star
Sky, not
Citizen.
really Star Citizen.
Right.
But okay, so that's Sam's three, all taking place in space. Most of them...
space.
Exactly, and go check them out. All right, so the last person, we had Chico. He was going to be a part of this, but he had to bow out at the last second. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to my games. So my games are a little bit weirder, some a little bit more indier.
Some
My
a little bit
first one-
stupider.
Obviously, he's talking about my very first game, which is Star Wall, Just the Tip. And
Oh my
you can
God.
essentially take that as being it's narwhals in space, and that's where the game starts.
Obviously.
That's where the game ends.
So, but here's the thing with Star Wars. This is a Flash game. This is the quality of a shitty little Flash. I did it! I've been trying not to swear this whole time. This is a crappy little Flash game, essentially, that they put, and made it a game. And it's not to say it's not fun. It's a cute game. It looks like it's got some interesting mechanics, and I think I would have fun, just screwing around with a friend playing it for 20 minutes, but you're not going to get 10 hours of gameplay on this. That I don't see, like, this isn't,
You're
or this
not.
is like a $1 thing on Xbox Live is where
Well, the
this
point
is at.
the point of the game is not to get 10 hours into it. It's a party game. The point is for it to be a very novel idea concept.
You know what
get
they
into
should
it,
do?
You have a good time, and that's it. But it looks like a fun game.
Here's what they
Looks
should do.
oddly sexual.
Put it into interface.
Dude, you're sorry, it's like freaking narwhal penises, like trying to jab each. Dice, you're freaking weird, man. This game is really weird, dude.
But I
you
promise
gotta be
I can
like
get you
high
guys.
or on some type of drug or amphetamine.
But you gotta
for this
put
to
your-
Oh
go
yes,
No, no.
I actually like this game.
Tumult,
more
you
because
actually
said
have
that.
down. What's up?
You have to stick your tip into their heart, the tip of your horn, get it under their belly, because you can't
Why does
just
this
like.
not sound like a good game?
Guys, it's games
I'm
like
tr-
these that really push the boundaries.
I'm trying to figure out why you guys don't think this is an awesome game, because every complaint you have just makes me want to play it
It's like,
more.
Dice is like, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Freaking
exactly.
like penis tips. That's what you want in my heart. That's what we need.
That's exactly what we.
So
I don't
now,
understand.
would you pay
What's the
more for?
problem?
Would you pay more for a mod that put a phallic image instead of a horn?
Oh, dude, that's too
Would I pay for a
overt,
penicorn? A penicorn? Maybe.
Yes.
It's
Maybe
too
I
overt.
would.
I think it's perfect the way it is. It's like, is that a penis? I don't know. They're not saying it. It's clearly a penis. That is a penis.
It's a novel concept. Yeah, you're not gonna want to pay like $20 for this,
I would
but
pay
like
$50 for this.
I will see you double that.
What
sir.
if they made a
But-
female narwhal that could like absorb the horn and throw them against a wall?
Oh, dude, now
Oh
you're
my
being
god!
disgusting.
Now
Sam,
you're
come on.
You've gone too far.
Where were we before?
You've
Come on,
gone
dude.
too far. You just took a simple novel concept and you just made it.
You took a cute penis game and you just turned it into this nasty.
I want to
don't
be
even know
clear
what to
that I'm shaking my head through this whole conversation.
Sorry, guys, I kind of let it loose there. Let me.
There you go. No,
Cage
that's it. No, but it's a novel concept. It's fun. It's a good party game. You guys can dog it, but I swear, if I could get this game and you guys in a room with nothing to do, maybe a couple of beers for like a good 20 minutes, we would have
Yeah,
nothing but fun.
But
playing
here's
it.
the thing: you just said with nothing to do. If we had anything else to do, we wouldn't be playing a penis game.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
but
aren't we
That's
always?
We could play
There you
Smash
go.
Brothers. I would spend the $40 to buy an N64 Smash Brothers. Heck, $60. I'll get the controllers too, and we'll play Smash Brothers.
All right, you do that, and when we get bored of Smash Brothers because of all the cheats and all the extra stuff they added, and the
Dice?
Wii
Okay,
Fit
Dice, I
lady,
get it.
Wii
No.
Fit lady. Okay, all right.
This game
Thank
is
you.
cool. This game is
Thank you.
cool
Thank
because it's so weird.
There you
It's
go.
Sorry, I've just been looking at this same GIF for like the whole time you guys have been talking. Like, okay, this is freaking weird. Okay, wait a minute. All right, I can see how. You know what?
There
Yeah,
you
I'd
go.
play this game. Holy crap! Yeah, you just got to look at the GIF, Sam. Here. Let me just give you a link. Like,
All right,
it
and
just-
while he's giving that GIF. All right,
I
so
do
that-
like one more thing. I do like that the video on the Kickstarter page has a ton of girls smiling playing the game.
They're definitely trying to sell it.
That's how you sell it. I thought
Yeah.
that was what you do. You just show women who are happy playing it. It's like, if I show that, women will come to my house and be happy. I want that. But no, okay, so that's my number 3. That's my bottom one. That's my bottom one.
That's your top one, man. Don't lie.
So my number 2 is another game called Scraps. Now this game is still very early, but the idea is that you build your own custom combat vehicle. The components have real functions, real physics, for whatever terrible vehicle or design you come up with, and then you can throw them into an environment that almost feels like Gary's mod and just go straight away and start shooting. Simple, grab your items, dump into a land, and just straight vehicular manslaughter. What do you?
I think
Keep
this
going.
is a good example of why Dice is the captain, because he thinks in very simple terms. This is a very simple game. You know, our games had like gameplay and story and whatnot.
Man.
Dice's
You're gonna
games,
Paterate, Sam?
yeah. But I think Scraps does look like a lot of fun. There has not been good vehicle combat, in my opinion, since Twisted Metal 2, which was over 10 years ago.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
that'd actually be more like 15 years ago. That was on PS1.
God.
That was like
We're
PS1.
old.
Yeah, we are. Come
So
to terms with your
I would
mortality.
like to see a really good vehicle combat game. I haven't seen one come out in forever, and so I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, I was
And
watching the video for it. I don't know. Like, I got it's the Gary's Mod feel that kind of did it for me. That was just like,
yeah.
oh yeah, that's friggin' guns. Perfect. That's what I needed.
My
Moving guns. Yes.
My favorite video on it is the one where they're like, "What? Tired of rolling over and not being able to use your car?" And then they just like have one with like a roll cage on the top. It's just guns all over the roll cage, and it's just rolling down a hill with guns firing, and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
that's
what we want.
a way to do it." Okay.
They got it. They get it. It makes sense now.
The flip side of that is another gun that they just
the
put.
flip
They
side.
just put a tank's. The flip side, I just got that. They just put like a tank turn on it, and whenever it flips over, they just fire it, and it just shoots it back upright.
I
I'm
didn't see
looking
that
at these
one.
these gun car designs. Like, it's like pretty tame, and then you scroll down, it's like boom, giant Star Destroyer from freaking Star Wars.
Oh
You
hell
can
yeah!
really do a lot, man.
Oh yeah,
That's crazy.
it's open, entirely customizable. And so this game is still on Kickstarter. It's got 9 days to go, so you guys can dump some money into this if you want. But I think it's really interesting, and I'd like to see, like, there's not a whole lot. Like right now, they have a couple of ones where they don't have a whole lot of combat going in. A lot of the videos I'm seeing on YouTube are just people creating these ridiculously sized guns. But it'll be interesting to see what else they can get into this as they go forth. Because you start from a base with this, and you only build up.
And I think I'll say, so far, out of what we've talked about, I have now downloaded the demo for Interface. I'm now downloading the interface, or the demo for Scraps. So, you know, I mean, I think that's a kudos to this, even though it's kind of silly and simplistic.
But all right, so that's my game too. It was Scraps. Yeah, you can go and find that on Kickstarter. It doesn't have a whole lot of time. It's not terribly close to its goal, but it's gotten a hell of a lot of press, and it looks like it might go places. My last game, since you guys are like criticizing me for having not deep enough games, my number one pick for the 3 indies that I
Too
looked
deep.
up. It's too deep, yeah. It's Night in the Woods, and this game, it automatically grabbed me. Like. Even the video that I'm going to be showing, doesn't feel like it shows a whole lot other than cinematics. My feel for this game is that it's going to play as if almost you're in a cinematic, and you play as this in this anthropomorphized world, but essentially, and the text for all of it is very kind of abstract. But I like the direction that it's going in. Is at the end of everything, hold on to anything. Essentially, you're playing a character that dropped out of high school and just wants to run around and break stuff with her friends, and just kind of coming to terms with mortality and growing up. And it seems like a very coming of age, story-driven game. Not only that, it's Jesus Christ, it's really picked up some steam on Kickstarter. I found this on Kickstarter, but it was already fully funded. In fact, it was 400% funded in the first 30 days. Fully funded in the first 26 hours. Over 7,000 backers. And right now, they have about $209,000, and all they were asking for was 50 grand. Considering there's not a whole lot going, like, that they'll tell us about the gameplay, there's like little bits of the story that they give us that are very mysterious. Like, Sam actually said this was my best game. I'm curious, Sam, why do you think this was the best one?
Star Wall aside, Scraps looks like a fun game, but it doesn't have all the pieces together to see how it's actually going to work. I think Scraps could have been your number one if the people who are making it were further along. But I mean, some of that is they, where they're at. I think the guy who's making Scraps has like been doing it for a year by himself. It's a one-man thing, This, it's got all the elements of a game that needs to be there. It's got the game mechanics, it's got the storyline, it's got the direction and the ambiance. The ambiance is good. This is another one of those examples of music and ambiance that I was talking about earlier. And I'll tell you this, it's got I think he's the programmer, Alec Holowaka?
Holowaka. I think that is it.
That's Aquaria after that.
Aquaria is a great game. I know I played Aquaria. Aquaria is one of the very first indies that I ever spent time. I bought it straight out. Wow. I bought it again when it went out on a indie bundle because I wanted it on Steam. It was a great game. I would totally recommend it. It's a fun 10, 12 hours, and it's a game too that I would recommend for people who are more casual. It's really fun. It's an exploration game, and I think based on what they put out, you can see that there's the elements of a game here. Whether or not they pull it off, who knows? But they have all the right elements. They have what they're doing down, it looks like. And I think by the $209,000 400% funded, that other people agree.
Okay. I mean, are you saying this because it's farther along in development than the other games I've chosen, or just because of the general vibe?
No, the general vibe. It's got all the pieces, and it looks like a fun game. I mean, the number one, actually, now that I said it looks like a fun game. Scraps looks like it could be fun. This looks like it is fun.
Okay.
And Star Wall is a flash game that I would play for 20 minutes. So,
all right, fair enough. Tumult, what do you think about it, man?
I mean, it's very stylized. It had me hooked when I was looking at the pictures. The artwork's very nice, and the themes are very adult. Seems like a weird coming of age story. So, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely cool. I feel like the animals must represent something, and there's a lot of meaning behind it. I didn't know this guy made Aquaria. I've actually never heard of Aquaria. Sorry.
Me neither.
Yeah, you're both out of the group.
Sorry, Sam.
I love when I get kicked out of the group too.
No, but yeah, I mean, it seems like it deals with some adult things. Some, I don't know. It's nice to have a game that's not trying to. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. That kind of game, right?
And that's the thing. It's kind of it, and I feel here's the thing. I see exactly where you're coming from because I saw this game and I was like, why do I like this? I don't know, but it has a vibe. It's got a soul that you can kind of feel it.
There's a game. I know, where is it? There's a game, I believe it's called A Werewolf Among Us, that reminds me. It's obviously not the same game, A Wolf Among Us. There it is. A Wolf Among Us. It's a story game. Again, it's basically a choose your own adventure with some quick time events, and it's a lot. It's fun, and it kind of goes along the same thing with the Stanley Parable. It's a fun, interesting story that you want to get into and experience, and this one looks like it has some more gameplay mechanics, so that has me a little more grabbed. And because I like gameplay mechanics, that's why I play games instead of read books. When I want the book, I when I want an experience without my interaction, I'll read a book. And so I think it's just it really has that quality of letting you get a real story instead of the kind of chopped up, like, oh, this is a video game and we tacked this story around it,
Yeah. No, there's what is it? Scott McCloud's Understanding Comic Books. There's a difference to each medium. And you have to kind of use the strengths of those mediums in a different way that their individual pieces wouldn't normally connect. Wow. And I kind of feel that same way for this. And even though we know very little about it, yeah, I think we can all see there's a little bit of potential there. We'll be interested to see how that comes about. But as of right now, those are our three big indies. We want to go see those. Also, I'm going to add this towards the end tacked on. I'm really interested to see, we had him as a guest on here, Callan Shaw of the Unallied. He's going to be restarting his Kickstarter. It didn't pass, but Dwarf Madness, Super Dwarf Madness as well.
And to be fair, it should have passed. It was a fun game.
It was a fun game.
I put in, I think, 6 hours in one day on it, and then my hands hurt from playing, and I was like, okay.
No, it's a good game. He's going to be relaunching the Kickstarter. It's a top-down shooter. Dwarves, zombies, big guns. It's going to be fun. Go check that out as well. But yeah, we've been the Useless Gamers. My name was Dyce. I am the leader of all that is awesome and sexiness in video games, and with us we had our other guy, Sam.
Yes, and this time I remembered to push to talk so I could say, I'm Sam706. Come watch my videos on Sam706 on YouTube. Yeah.
All right, and with us we had our new guy who did pretty well. How'd you think he did this time? Sam, you think he did all right? We can invite him back.
Well, considering that he did not forget to push the button so that he could actually talk, he's doing better than I did last time. So I give him full credit. You kept your own, man. You had some good opinions.
Yeah, felt really nervous, but you guys are really nice, so thanks.
You guys will be looking out for him. We'll see him some more, hopefully.
You know why,
I hope so.
too? I think this is why we're nice. At least I'm not wearing pants, so I'm not all, like, uptight and feeling constrained and like we have to do a good job, which I don't think... This is a podcast. If you're doing a good job, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I gotta take my pants off. Is that...
That's how I do it. Whatever works for you.
Please, just... If you take your pants off, just don't tell me.
I'm gonna take off my clothes, all of them.
Yeah. No. Hey, man.
Am I cool yet? Am I cool?
We've been the Useless Gamers. Apparently, we've been doing this wrong, and we have apparently no pants on. You guys take it easy.